Well, I'm Russ Milheim from the Direct. It's great to speak with you. I don't know if you remember, but we did speak on the carpet for Imaginary.
Yes. Yes.
It was oh so long ago, it feels like. Uh,
It does feel like it's a long time ago. It's weird.
when you think of horror movies, for you, what are some of the first ones that come to mind?
I grew up in the 90s, so I always think about like the Freddy Kruegers, Jasons, Scream, like when Scream first came out. I'm from Maryland, so remember when like Blair Witch was a big deal?
I'm actually from Maryland as well, so
Are you?
yeah.
So Blair Witch was a big deal there for a minute, and then there were so many imitators, so many like shaky camera,
hmm
like movies, and we were like, okay, please stop this, please stop shaking the camera.
Did you like Cloverfield? I love Cloverfield. Some people hate it though.
I love Cloverfield.
Okay, good, good, good.
Yeah.
That has a special place in my heart. You know, with the movie now, with Imaginary now making its way to home media, what's something about the film that still sticks with you, even having done the premiere and it's been in theaters and.
I this was back in like 2019, but I made a personal resolution to have as much fun as humanly possible working. Like filming is my favorite thing. There are plenty of actors who don't actually like it anymore and are still just doing it. I'm not one of them. And we just had, when I tell you we had the best time making this movie, we had the best time making this movie. So yeah, I mean, I carry and I cherish the experience of being surrounded by not a cast and a crew who all wanted to be there.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's priceless. I cannot tell you.
Speaking of home releases, one of the favorite bonus features of many is a gag reel. So, were there any particular moments that you remember being worthy of the bloopers, whether it made it or not?
I can't wait to see. I mean, I will tell you the movie. I mean, it's a haunted teddy bear, so of course there's so many absurd moments you have to film as an actor. Um, the only thing that broke me, the only thing that broke me was that dog in that movie. This dog in this movie, I'll never forget. Jeff turned to me at one point and he was like, "What are we making?" I'm like, "This is camp, Jeff. Okay, you have." A small dog. You have this Broadway legend, Betty Buckley, reciting a dramatic monologue. Like, I could not keep it together. That dog took me.
I can imagine that there's plenty of situations filming across even like a teddy bear, and that's yeah hard to keep a straight face or a
Yeah.
super terrified face.
Yeah, our super terrified face. Correct.
Now, you have previously said that you're not necessarily one for repeat performances. So, in your with your role in Imaginary, how did that help you explore or experience something that you have not done before?
Yeah, I feel like anytime every time I do something, my team's like, we don't have this of you. And I'm like, I know, isn't that the point? And I hadn't played anyone nearly as soft. Like if anybody had a reaction to Jessica's parenting and the way that this teen girl was treating Jessica, I agree with you. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like any other character I would play would be like, well, I'm sorry, what'd you say? You know, but that just wasn't the characterization. She's just, radically soft. And I mean, just really, it was just really delightful. It was really delightful. I couldn't get over it. Couldn't stop joking about it on set. Poor Tegan, if she had to hear one more time, he'd be like, "Save me, Tegan." Like I spent the whole time being like, "I'm a damsel." Save me.
Now, Chauncey the bear, I wanted to ask, was he always designed as he came across, or were there alternate kind of stage one looks?
He was always designed that way. We had a lot of very interesting and specific um, horror movie hurdles. And one was, why would you ever move back into a scary house? Which is why the house just looks like your grandmother's house. Like that's why the house, like you would move back into that house. It's a lovely home. You know what I mean? You do some kitchen renovations and be fine.
It's worth it. Take the
Um,
risk.
it's worth it. And then, Chauncey had to look like a bear that a 8-year-old would pick up. So we were playing around, there were always very subtle facial expressions that Mark was playing around with, and Jeff helped co-design. But outside of that, like slightly off kilter, like the shape of his eyes or whatever, Chauncey was always going to be Chauncey.
And that was, as I was mentioning, it's stage one. There was a stage two, as the movie, surprises audiences with a far more terrifying, huge Chauncey, who's far
Yeah,
bigger and more monstrous. What was it like performing across from him? I can imagine it was a little easier than just regular old Chauncey.
it was a little easier. Um, we had really Dane is extraordinary. Shout out to Dane. Dane plays Chauncey Bear Beast, and I'm super elated for him because all the man wanted to do was play an actual human being, and now he's going to be on a show playing an actual human being. So speaking of falling in love with your cast and crew, I'm so elated for him. But that does not, negate the fact that that man is over 7 feet and was wearing a terrifying suit. So
Were you able to keep it together for those scenes?
yeah, I was legitimately terrified.
That's good. That's good.
By the time we were kind of not only having him in full regalia, but man, those scenes, the like everything, the practical effects, the way that the lighting was working, you know what I mean? There's like a little mini stunt with a de-elevated stage that you find in the movie. So yeah, all of it, we were all kind of in it.
Now, Big Chauncey is also he's very prevalent in this kind of other space that you guys go to in the last act with a lot of doors. How is that filmed? How much of that is practical versus VFX kind of trickery?
I think there were 46 doors on that set,
Nice.
and definitely our most expensive set piece in the movie. As producer DeWanda talking, definitely our most expensive. We kept talking about it too because it was like we shot on that stage for like less than a week. You know what I mean? And it cost so much.
But it
But
looked
yeah,
good. So
it looked incredible, and it was an enormous practical set. I mean, it was big enough that I had a game which was like, where does this door go? Like that's how big that set was, so huge that it was just like you could legit get lost on it. And I did plenty of times.
you guys probably set some weird record and you didn't even realize it. Like the most doors on a film set.
Oh, you're
You
right. I
should have
gotta call
counted. You
Guinness.
should have called Guinness up.
Call Guinness. I'm mad.
For you and your other cast members, what did you guys do to help build the dynamic between like the family? Did you do anything both on and off set?
I'm trying to think if we did anything. There was nothing that we'd done formally. I legitimately love working with young performers.
Hmm.
I've done it a number of times now. They're just one, it's inspiring because they're so open. There's not a version of working with a kid where they're like, my character wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
don't do the things that adults do. But they, they're open, they're willing, they're normal kids, they're not Hollywood kids at all. And we just spent a lot of time. I mean, we were filming together over 2 months in New Orleans, and it was just a lot of time. Like, you know, yes, we did brunches. I know Tegan and Piper, went shopping a little bit, got their
Without their
shopping.
mother.
Yeah, they got some shopping, and I'm not a shopper, so I didn't. But yeah, the love you see on screen, I have like very high regard for both of them. Very protective.
Now, for my last question, I want to pivot a little bit. Previously, you talked about how an experience with a Marvel crew member kind of gave you an eye-opening, thought about being a part of the Marvel universe. I wanted to ask, is that one of the reasons why you had to exit the role of Maria Rambeau in Captain Marvel?
No, I had to, but that was a funny headline. I had to exit because it conflicted with season two of She's Gotta Have It. It was just both of those things were
Yeah.
true at the same time. You know what I mean? It was like, can I? And that was always my question. That's not an exclusive. The concern about acting in blockbusters is not exclusive to Marvel. It's
Hmm.
acting in blockbusters, and asking ourselves, okay, can we do, like I think about some of the greatest performances. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. is extraordinary. Like he's extraordinary in those series. Hugh Jackman in Logan, like that's Hugh Jackman in Logan is literally what made me want to like veer into action.
Hmm.
I was like, oh, if you could, well, if we're doing that, then, maybe I will stop doing these indie movies and come on over and see what you guys are doing over here. So yeah, no, it wasn't that at all. It was just
So then I take
conflict.
it that you would definitely be up for a role in Marvel if the chance came again,
Yeah, the chance came, and if it was mealy enough,
if it was Logan-y enough.
if it was Logan, that is correct.
All right. Well, thank you for talking with me today about Imaginary and Marvel, and congratulations on the movie.
Thank you.
I still need to see Pool Man, but I want to see it.
It's so great. I can't wait to see it. It's so weird and wonderful.
Well, thank you again, and until next time.
Till next time. Bye, Russ.